Have you ever experienced that intense, unblinking stare from a cat? It's not the casual glance of a dog or the nervous flicker of a bird. It's a deep, deliberate focus, as if they are looking right past your skin and into the very core of your spirit. You might dismiss it as a feline quirk, a sign they want food, or just a moment of animal weirdness. But let's pause for a moment and consider a far more profound possibility. What if they are seeing something you don't? What if that persistent, silent gaze is not a coincidence, but a form of divine recognition? Not of your physical self, but of a hidden, sacred light dwelling within you that even you haven't fully acknowledged. This is not a tale of pet ownership or simple biology. This is about a spiritual sign encoded into the fabric of creation itself. There are certain souls on this earth, a rare and powerful group, who were chosen and marked by the divine before they took their first breath. They were set apart, tasked with being the carriers of light in a world often overshadowed by darkness. And the animals, especially cats, sense these souls immediately. Cats don't react to your clothes, your bank account, or your job title. They respond to the unseen, to the frequency of your spirit. If cats are constantly drawn to you, appearing when you feel most alone, and staring into your depths, it's because there is a divine, foundational reason that could radically redefine your understanding of who you are. Don't let this revelation pass you by. Don't scroll away or let your attention wander. Because by the end of this journey, you won't just understand why cats are drawn to you. You'll finally begin to see the incredible truth they are trying to show you about yourself. But before we journey into this sacred knowledge, take a deep breath. Feel the shift in energy around you, that subtle electric pull. That, my friend, is your confirmation. It's the universe acknowledging that you are ready. If you're prepared to unlock this mystery that has quietly followed you throughout your life, like this video and comment below, they see the light in me. That's how I'll know you're one of the few, one of the chosen, who is ready to receive this truth. We have been conditioned by the modern world to believe that animals operate purely on instinct and impulse. We're told a cat stares because it's bored, curious, or perhaps just a little odd. But this oversimplified, modern dismissal of the mystical role of the animal kingdom has caused a deep disconnection from an ancient, sacred truth that our ancestors not only knew, but actively lived by. Long before our era of technology, science, and organized religion, ancient civilizations understood animals as spiritual allies, not as mere pets, but as messengers, guardians, and sentient watchers positioned at the edge of the invisible realm. At the very heart of this spiritual understanding was the cat. Think of ancient Egypt, where cats weren't just respected. They were sacredly revered. Magnificent temples were dedicated to the goddess Bastet, who was depicted as half woman, half cat, and believed to be the protector of the home, the soul, and the very gateways connecting our physical world to the unseen one. To kill a cat in that era was not merely a crime. It was considered a sacrilege because the people knew, with an unshakable certainty, that cats were not ordinary creatures. They were understood to be keepers of energy, guardians of spiritual balance, and silent sentinels watching the veil between the physical and spiritual dimensions. But this reverence was not isolated to Egypt. Across the ancient world, the cat carried immense spiritual significance. In Celtic traditions, black cats were thought to safeguard secret, sacred knowledge. In certain Hindu texts, the goddess Shashi is shown riding a cat, overseeing the journeys of souls. Even the lion, the cat's mighty cousin, appears in early religious symbolism as a representation of divine vigilance and spiritual protection. This widespread belief system isn't simply superstition or folklore. It's a collective spiritual memory that the pragmatic modern world has attempted to silence and erase. The truth is that cats were intentionally designed by the Creator to perceive frequencies and vibrations far beyond human capability. They possess the ability to hear whispers we miss, see energies we overlook, and feel disturbances we ignore. Why are they assigned this unique role? Because their purpose extends beyond simply coexisting with us. They are here to guard the light that resides within us, particularly within those who bear the mark of the chosen, those whose souls are constantly tuned into heaven's wavelength. When a cat intensely watches you, It is never a passive, casual observation. It is an intentional spiritual response. Something deep within them is reacting to something extraordinarily rare, hidden, and profoundly otherworldly within you. Cats do not fixate on everyone in this manner. They don't relentlessly follow every human, nor are they captivated by every person who enters a room. But when you arrive, when you cross the threshold, they pause. They lock in. Their eyes aren't focused on your physical appearance. They are fixed on your spiritual aura. They are, in essence, checking the gate, sensing the alignment of your spirit. And what they discern is something most people simply cannot perceive. They see light. They see a soul unmistakably marked by heaven, a subtle sense of spiritual authority, even if you haven't fully stepped into that power yourself yet. This powerful recognition is not an accident of nature. It is a divine design. Just as angels are appointed to protect the children of God, certain creatures, especially cats, seem to be naturally drawn to serve as watchers, observers, and subtle guardians on the periphery of the spiritual battlefield. This makes perfect sense when you realize that chosen souls are not only carriers of light, but are, by their very nature, targets. You move through the world with an inherent luminosity, like a beacon in a darkened cave. This means the forces of darkness notice you. But equally important, so do the protectors. Heaven has its hidden agents, and some of them have fur, whiskers, and luminous eyes. They quietly watch over you while you sleep. They can sense when your spirit is being besieged or when your energy is under attack. They frequently appear during your deepest, most isolated moments, not to simply be entertained by you, but to act as a shield, to stand guard, and to serve as a silent, powerful reminder to your soul. You are not unseen. You are not forgotten. You are guarded. Perhaps this explains why they often curl up near your feet when you feel completely alone, or why they appear when you're walking too close to a spiritual edge. They have been dispatched to watch the sacred flame you carry. Here's the part that is rarely discussed. These spiritual guardians do not show up in everyone's life. They do not respond in this way to every spirit. Their powerful recognition is reserved for those who are distinctly marked, those with a divine assignment, those whose very presence profoundly shifts the atmosphere around them. So, if cats have always behaved differently around you, following you, staring at you as if you are something more than human, or appearing unexpectedly and refusing to leave your side, understand that this is recognition, not randomness. They recognize something in you that you have yet to fully embrace, and that silent, knowing, haunting stare is not mere curiosity. It is a powerful summons. There is a truth about you that your mirror cannot reflect and your photos cannot capture, a truth that most people around you completely miss. Yet the unseen spiritual world knows exactly who you are. When you are a chosen soul, a radiant flame is planted deep within you, established by God before you were born. You may not constantly feel or see this light, but every spiritual entity around you does. And the cat, that silent watcher between the worlds, is especially tuned into it. They look beyond your external status, your physical appearance, or your worldly successes. They look deeper, tuning into a subtle, divine vibration that most humans cannot even register. They see the light. A foundational spiritual truth is that you are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Notice that absolute statement. It cannot be hidden. No matter how desperately you attempt to blend in, no matter how much you try to downplay your true purpose, no matter how often you feel completely invisible, your spiritual light still shines. It's not physical, but it is deeply present in the spirit. You cannot simply turn it off or dim it because you didn't create it. God did. And when heaven places a flame of that magnitude within you, the entirety of creation responds to it, including the creatures that walk beside us, especially those born to guard the sacred gates. Cats do not simply respond to the sound of your voice. They react to your frequency, the subtle divine vibration that radiates from your very soul. This explains why they are drawn to you when you are wounded, why they stare when you are lost in deep thought, and why they curl up near you when you feel overlooked by everyone else. They see the spiritual glow emanating from within, and that glow is not of this world. And here is where the lesson deepens. Your spiritual light does not exclusively attract guardians. It also agitates the forces of darkness. This is the root cause of the sudden, unexplained attacks you've faced. The betrayals, the unearned isolation, and the intense spiritual pressure you often experience. That light within you is a disruptor. It exposes what is hidden in others and radically shifts the atmosphere, making people unconsciously uncomfortable, not because of anything you've actively done, but because of the divine essence you carry. Yet, even when the world is pushing you away, even when you walk through profound seasons of loneliness, the cats still come, the animals still draw near. While people are busy judging your exterior, they are tuned into your spiritual essence. They recognize the heaven-sent code, and they know it is not just beautiful but immensely powerful. The battle and the fury. This light is not merely a decoration. It is a weapon, a spiritual signal that designates you as a harbinger of truth in a world saturated with deception. You were never created to blend in. You were created to illuminate. You've likely spent your entire life wondering, why don't I fit in? Why do I feel things so profoundly and see things so clearly? The answer is that your soul possesses spiritual sight. Your presence carries a specific frequency, and your light powerfully stirs everything around it. This is precisely why the cats follow you, why you sometimes wake up with the unsettling feeling of being watched, only to see those calm, still, glowing eyes in the dark. They are looking past your tired face and into something eternal. Your light is not meant only for you. It is meant for the world. But here's the profound complexity. Some of you have carried this magnificent light without ever truly understanding its weight. You have walked through life like a candle hidden in a dark closet, still lit, still glowing, yet unseen by human eyes. But even hidden flames send out unmistakable signals. And even when no person recognizes the magnitude of what you carry, the spirit realm always does. So, the next time a cat locks eyes with you and refuses to look away, ask yourself, what are they seeing in me that I have been too afraid to acknowledge? The light is not waiting to be discovered. It is waiting for your conscious activation. The presence of animals, especially the cat, in your life is not merely comforting. It is prophetic. It is a subtle but clear signal from the spirit realm whispering, I see you, and I know who you truly are. When you are marked by God with a divine anointing, you emit a powerful spiritual energy. Even when you are silent, even when you are overwhelmed with self-doubt, your soul is constantly vibrating, radiating frequencies that the natural world instantly responds to. They don't react to your polished words. They react to your fundamental truth. And truth, chosen one, is your native language. Cats and many animals are inherently repelled by low vibrational energy, deceit, bitterness, and manipulation. They instinctively move away from pride and ego, but they are powerfully drawn to purity, humility, and genuine presence. They don't seek perfection, they seek presence. And you, the chosen one, are present in a way few people ever are, because your light stems not from achievement, but from spiritual alignment, from walking through the fire and emerging cleaner, not colder. That's why they stand guard while you sleep, why they look at you with such an all-knowing intensity, because they are reading your soul. It's not just cats. Have you noticed how birds settle near you, how dogs feel instantly safe, how children stare, or how strangers immediately open up to you? It's because the truth that lives inside you is unfiltered and unshaken. This is why the world so often misunderstands you, but the animals understand you instantly. They feel the ancient, holy rhythm of your spirit. Perhaps they were sent to you in your darkest hour to remind you of a truth the noise of life made you forget. You don't have to prove who you are. You just have to be. Be real, be still, be present, be aligned, and everything divinely assigned to you will recognize you without you uttering a single word. But as your spiritual vibration rises and you step more fully into your identity, you don't just attract comfort. You also attract warfare. Light inevitably draws both shadows and seekers. This brings us to a seldom considered truth. What if those cats are not merely sensing your peace, but are actively guarding it? What if they are not just coming to witness your light, but to protect it from the unseen forces attempting to extinguish it? The higher you ascend, the more intense the spiritual battle becomes, and the more heaven deploys its unexpected watchers. The spiritual warfare you feel is not just affecting your emotions. It is shifting the entire atmosphere around you, and the animals are reacting to that turbulence. You may not see the ongoing spiritual battle, but you have certainly felt it. That inexplicable heaviness, the sudden overwhelming anxiety, the strange fatigue after moments of profound clarity. These are not random emotional fluctuations. They are signs of warfare. The moment you were marked as a chosen one, you became a target, not because of your weaknesses, but because of the potential threat your light poses to the darkness. And while many people walk through life oblivious to the invisible currents, you feel it, sense it, and carry it. This is because you were born with spiritual authority, a presence that shifts environments and a voice that carries weight in the unseen realm. The truth is, the more warfare you face, the more protection God assigns. Scripture promises that the divine will command angels to guard you in all your ways, not just when you are aware, but in your sleep, in your confusion, and in the unseen battlefields of your mind. And sometimes, that divine protection doesn't come with wings and a halo. Sometimes it arrives in fur with glowing eyes, and with a stillness that powerfully disrupts spiritual chaos. Cats, especially around the chosen, are more than simple animals. They are spiritual sentinels, observers stationed at the border between dimensions. They see the darker energies circling you when no one else does. They sense the spiritual forces attempting to cling to your aura, and they respond to the threat. This is why they may suddenly jump, hiss, or run into an empty space. Why they sometimes sit on your chest and stare intensely at the darkness behind you. They are not reacting to the physical environment. They are intervening in the spiritual one. They stand in the gap between what you are consciously aware of and what is unknowingly attacking you. And here is the most mysterious part of all. They frequently appear in the seasons when your spirit is under the heaviest siege. A stray cat suddenly starts following you. The cat you already have inexplicably refuses to leave your side. You might think, what a coincidence. It is not. It is heaven sending help. It is God strategically deploying defenders in a form you weren't expecting. The kingdom of God operates in paradox. The small are mighty, and sometimes the silent are the most potent combatants in the spiritual realm. What appears to be a calm, lounging feline may very well be a divine watcher positioned between you and something that was sent to cause harm. Let that powerful truth settle into your soul. You didn't just get lucky with a cat that loves you. You were assigned a watcher because the battles you are silently fighting have been seen in heaven, and heaven does not leave its warriors unguarded. You are not paranoid, nor are you overly sensitive. You are spiritually aware, designed to discern what others ignore. And because you feel more and battle more, God surrounds you with more protection, more eyes in the night, and more defenders in fur. The most mind-blowing aspect is that these guardians don't just watch. They warn, absorb, and actively block. That's why, after a particularly heavy day, your cat will not leave your lap, or will pace the room like something is deeply wrong. They are not merely alarmed by shadows. They are confronting spirits. If you have ever questioned why cats act so strangely around you, why they appear when you are at your weakest, and why they sit and stare into the darkness as if guarding the gates of your very soul, please understand this. You are being protected strategically, spiritually, and constantly. Heaven simply does not leave its chosen exposed. But this protection begs a final, crucial question. If the enemy's attacks are intensifying around you, why this season? What extraordinary event or step in your purpose is approaching that has stirred both the forces of darkness and the divine to surround your life? You are carrying a truth that can no longer be contained or silenced. You thought you were ordinary. You are not. You are a living conduit of divine presence, an instrument of spiritual disruption, and a walking answer to prayers you may not even remember praying. And in those moments when the weight of your assignment feels unbearable, when you simply want to give up, remember the guardians. Remember the cats that came as powerful confirmation. Even the silence of the spiritual realm is a strategy, not a rejection. Because when the enemy increases the resistance, it is always a sure sign that your purpose is closer than ever before. Your identity is not something you have to frantically achieve. It is something you must accept. And once you truly embrace what you carry, everything in your life will shift. If you have been desperately waiting for a sign, let this be it. Not just the words you are reading, but the signs you have already seen in the animals, in the atmosphere, and in the profound synchronicity of your life. All of it has been heaven's way of whispering, "You are more than you think, and your time is now." Purpose without activation is just unrealized potential. Next time a cat settles that familiar, unwavering gaze upon you, do not dismiss it as a random event. Do not laugh or look away. Because that stare, that pause in time, that profound lock between your soul and theirs, is an act of pure recognition. A creature of creation is seeing something divine. A silent witness is acknowledging the truth you've tried to hide, the truth the world made you doubt, the truth that even religion couldn't fully explain. They see it. They do not see the tired you, the rejected you, or the you carrying 1,000 scars. They see the real you, the chosen you. It is time to stop questioning your spiritual identity. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into rooms that do not honor your presence. Stop waiting for permission to be the powerful light you already are. When animals, creatures without ego or agenda, recognize your light, it means that even the realms beyond human perception know your name. The very atmosphere subtly bends when you are near, because something holy walks within you. Rise, chosen one. Walk boldly. Speak fearlessly. Shine without apology. There is a spiritual war raging, and your presence powerfully shifts the atmosphere. There is a magnificent destiny within you that even the animals pause to honor. If this message resonated deep within your spirit and stirred something unshakable inside you, like this video and comment below, "I am chosen." Share this truth with someone who desperately needs to be reminded of who they really are. Your journey has only just begun. Let the world feel your light, and never forget that even creation itself can clearly see what God has placed in you. This is not an ending. It is your definitive awakening.